In 2025, a normal American morning looks like this: coffee, anxiety, and sertraline. Not a good morning, a stable morning. No mood swings, no panic attacks, no real emotions. We're not living anymore. We're just stabilizing. 1 in 4 Americans is on antidepressants. The rest either can't get an appointment with a psychiatrist or mask their apathy with fake smileys and Slack chats. This isn't a joke. It's not an exception. It's the new normal. Welcome to the land of manifest your happiness, where if you feel sad, it's your fault. Where mental health has become a subscription service. Feeling tired? Drink water. Feeling anxious? Write in a gratitude journal. Don't want to live? You've got low dopamine. Just get a blood test and buy a Headspace subscription. We replaced real conversations with prescriptions, suffering with statistics, and personal pain with a side effect in tiny print at the bottom of the leaflet. America isn't healing its people. America is just masking the symptoms so you don't interfere with the economy. And you know who's winning? Not you. Not the doctor who spends 7 minutes with you. But the ones selling you pills for $300 a month. The ones turning your pain into quarterly reports. The ones building yachts from your anxiety. The ones for whom your depression is a gold mine. This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's just business. So the question isn't, what's wrong with you? It's, why does it hurt? And who profits from it? For almost 30 years, we've been fed one simple idea. Depression is a chemical imbalance, a serotonin deficiency. Like your brain just doesn't have enough antidepressants. That's like saying hunger is a potato shortage. Sounds ridiculous, right? Of course, but when it comes to mental health, ridiculousness turns into a business model.
1 in 15 U.S. adults have had a major depressive episode in the past year. Please contact your doctor if you're experiencing symptoms of depression. Common side effects include nausea and drowsiness.
Not a single study, meta-analysis, or commission has proven that depression is actually caused by serotonin levels. Even the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, has admitted the chemical imbalance theory was, let's say, exaggerated. There's no scientific consensus. But you know who doesn't wait for consensus? Marketing. When you hear your emotions are just a neurotransmitter malfunction, you start to feel fixable. And they tell you, it's not your fault. It's not your personality. It's just broken chemistry. Sounds comforting. Until you realize that behind the not your fault is a $130 pharmacy bill. Because if you just have a serotonin deficiency, you don't need meaning, friends, support, housing, or justice. What you need is Zoloft, Prozac, Lexapro, Effexor, all prescription.
Where rest costs more than rent. Sleep Mediations makes calm instant. Pick your calm, press play. No signups, no tricks, just actual sleep. Like it should be. Tonight, you sleep for real. Link's waiting.
Prescription, all covered by insurance, all for years. Now guess how many years the average American stays on antidepressants? 6. On average, some for 10, 15, or even their whole lives. Not because they can't live without them, but because doctors stop tapering patients off. Because there's no time, no systemic therapy, no infrastructure. Just prescription renewals, month after month, year after year. And you don't even know there could be another way, because no one talked to you, they just agreed with you. You said, I'm struggling. They said, here's a pill. Next, this isn't help, this is processing, convenience. And you know what always works? Fear. Fear that if you don't get treated, you'll be dangerous. A bad dad. An uncontrollable mom. Not the normal employee smiling on Zoom. You'll be ugly, awkward, socially unfiltered. So better take the pill. Get back in the system. Work, pay rent, don't panic. And thanks for your purchase. Okay, if depression isn't just about chemistry, then who's really running this whole system? Who decides what you need when you can't get out of bed? Who profits when you feel not productive enough, not happy enough, not alive enough? Spoiler alert, it's not your therapist, and definitely not you, it's Big Pharma. Billion-dollar corporations for whom your anxiety isn't a tragedy. It's an asset. It's recurring revenue. It's steady growth charts. It's a subscription to your feelings. Every time you feel overwhelmed, someone in a corporate presentation checks the box. Mood disorders segment growth, up 8.4%. You have a panic attack. They have a quarterly report. You can't breathe. They breathe a sigh of relief. Everything's on track. You're the symptom. They're the system. In America, antidepressant ads are legal. That means you're not a patient. You're a target audience. They don't heal you. They convert your emotions into clicks, views, and sales. And if you think government regulators have your back, I've got bad news for you. FDA and Big Pharma aren't enemies. They're partners. Their relationship is like a doctor and a dealer sharing the same cash register. When one leaves the FDA, they go work for pharma with double the salary. When another wants to approve a new drug, they call their old friends. Meanwhile, while they're making business, you're sleeping 3 hours a night dealing with side effects, feeling numb for the third month in a row. Side effects? They say, let's try a different dose. You say you don't want to feel like a zombie. They suggest adding a stimulant. You say you can't have sex. They recommend another pill for libido. Problem solved by a pill for the pill you got because of the first pill, prescribed when you simply said, I'm sad. This isn't medicine. It's a nesting doll of side effects with a price tag on every layer. And now you don't know where you end and your treatment begins. Who are you without all this? Without the regimens, prescriptions, and dosages? Have you ever tried living without the instructions? Here's what's really going on. We've been told depression is an individual defect, but it's a systemic failure. You're not sick. You're overloaded. You're not broken. You're just living in a society that constantly makes you feel broken. And instead of changing that society, we change your biochemistry. We don't ask, why is everyone anxious? We ask, how can we quiet it faster? And while we're silent, they're making money. Let's take a breather. Depression itself? Yeah, not funny at all. But how we deal with it in today's culture? That's pure absurdity. We live in an era where anxiety disorder is a personal brand, where I had a panic attack is a Bumble bio.
You can think you've run away from something, but actually, you've been carrying it with you the whole time.
Where even dogs on TikTok know the word dissociation. Your pain isn't just pain, it's content. And guess what? Content works. Videos titled Mental Health Check rack up millions of views. But that's not therapy. That's viral invalidation. Now guess what advice those people get in the comments? Try box breathing, drink more water, meditate 5 minutes a day, do a morning stretch, and of course, take a 3-day vacation. 3 days. Against 15 years of social burnout. Yeah, buddy, it's really that simple. You're sad, not because you're broke, lonely, and exhausted, but because you haven't eaten enough natural antidepressants, broccoli, avocado, and chia seeds. You haven't been to therapy, but you're sure your anxiety is just cortisol gone haywire, and all you need are affirmations and a blue light lamp on your desk. The world offers a cruel parody of care. It doesn't give you time. It gives you a pillow shaped like a Headspace blue circle. The world doesn't lower the pressure. It sells you the service of just breathe with lo-fi beats. And if you still can't cope, if you start to internally collapse, they tell you, you just don't know how to handle it. The problem isn't the system. The problem is you. You're not mindful enough, grateful enough, or relaxed enough. Just try the inhale, hold, exhale, forget you live in hell technique. This isn't care. It's mockery. Mass simulation of empathy. And it's for sale, on subscription, with a promo code HELP. To understand why half the country is on antidepressants, we have to go back. Way further back than your first Zoloft prescription. Back to when mental health stopped being a public concern and became a matter for accountants and stock markets. The 1950s to 70s. America, a place where state-run psychiatric hospitals still exist. Places where people actually got help, meds, therapy, support, but also places of abuse, cruelty, and bureaucratic nightmares. Then came a massive reform, under the banner of humanity, and with strong backing from, guess who? Presidents and corporations. By the 1980s, most large psychiatric hospitals were shut down or downsized. Replacement funding didn't come. Social programs slashed. Support systems vanished. Welcome to the do-it-yourself era. Got depression? Read a book, panic attacks, talk to your pastor, suicidal thoughts? Take a quiz in People magazine. Then 1987 hits. Prozac hits the market, the first mass-market happiness pill. It wasn't just medicine, it was a revolution. That's when the myth was born. Depression is a chemical imbalance, and it can be fixed with chemicals. People were desperate, pharma knew it. They stopped marketing to doctors and started marketing to us, the consumers. No need to change your life, no need to unpack your trauma. Just take a pill and be yourself again. But who's this yourself? Someone who smiles at work, never complains, never asks for support, never slows down the system. Then began the golden age of antidepressants. In the 90s and 2000s, pharma companies sponsored doctor conferences, influenced medical textbooks, funded clinical trials, introduced preventative medication for anxiety disorders. At this point, mental health became a market, and markets demand growth. So depression had to become widespread, anxiety the new normal, low mood a symptom, not a signal. Society wasn't rebuilt so you could be okay. Society found a way to sell you the feeling that you're okay. For a few hours, a few days, until the bottle runs out. That's the whole context. Mental health care, broken. Society, toxic. Stability, sold in blister packs of 30. And when you wake up feeling like you can't take it anymore, you're not broken. You just woke.
Oh look, a meditation ad. How original, right? Except this one works. You press play, you actually sleep and reprogram your mind. No BS, no cosmic promises. Just sleep that rewires your mindset tonight. Link below. Try it. Or keep doom scrolling. Up to you.
Woke up in a system that broke down before you did. It's 2025. We've gone from psychiatric hospitals to telemedicine apps, from support groups to Discord servers called Depression at 20, from real help to a $19.99 a month subscription where a bot with a Disney actress's voice gives you advice. And here we are. 1 in 3 American millennials is on prescription meds for anxiety or depression. Teens get antidepressants from school counselors faster than they make friends. Diagnoses are made on TikTok in 15-second videos. Your pain is no longer yours. It's a trend. It's algorithmic. If you're not posting videos about your depression, does it even exist? We created a generation that doesn't feel, not because they want to disconnect, but because they live in an emotional hell that had to be muted with pills. People are calm, but not okay. Functioning, but not living. On a dose, not because they're addicted, but because there's no alternative. You might say, but now there's more talk about mental health. True. But what kind of talk? Corporations post stories for Mental Health Day. Uber tweets, "Don't forget to breathe." Starbucks says, "Take a moment for yourself." Rent's up, insurance is cut, wages are stagnant, but hey, you have Google Meditation and a breathing logo on your Apple Watch. Are you anxious? Of course you are. The planet is burning. Politics is a circus. Work is meaningless stress. Rest is procrastination with guilt. And all they offer you is try a breathing exercise and get more sleep. We replaced systemic support with personal responsibility. You're anxious? That's your laziness. You're burned out. You planned poorly. You're depressed? You just don't want to change. Here's what's really happening. Depressed people are a workforce that doesn't ask for raises. People on pills are consumers who don't ask questions. People online are content to be monetized. And the worse you feel, the better it is for them. This isn't therapy. This is a new industry. And your feelings, They're raw material. Sometimes I wonder if something's wrong with me, like I'm broken. I wake up and already feel the weight, like I'm expected to play a role all day long. The energetic one, the put-together one, the confident one. But inside, there's nothing. No anger, no joy, just emptiness. I haven't really felt alive in a long time, more like I'm just going through the motions, ticking boxes. I see people, I smile. I pick up my phone. I pretend I'm okay. I say I'm fine, because I know. No one wants to hear the truth. Sometimes it feels like I'm not even sick. I'm just living in a world where everyone's sick. They just keep quiet about it. Where admitting you're tired is a weakness. Where vulnerability gets punished. I don't hate meds. Sometimes they helped. Sometimes they numbed me enough to at least show up at work. Sometimes they didn't help at all. And I'm scared that I can't tell anymore what's really me and what's left after adjusting doses. I don't know how to talk about it. I don't know who to talk to, because all I get back is advice or silence. But inside, the feeling grows stronger. It's not just me. It can't all be my fault. We're all living under this pressure to be okay, productive, positive, smiling, even when everything inside is falling apart. I don't need a life coach. I don't need a mindfulness challenge. I just want someone to stop and say, yeah, I get it. This is hard. I don't want to live by someone else's script. I don't want my feelings measured by KP is. I just want sadness not to be a failure, a breakdown not to be shameful. I want to be a real person, not just a patient, an employee, a user. Sometimes I think maybe I'm okay. Maybe I'm just reacting normally to abnormal circumstances. And if that's true, maybe it's not me who needs to change. Maybe it's all of this. Who's really in control? Who decides what happens to your pain, your anxiety, your life? It's not the pharmacist, not the CEO, not the doctor on a Pfizer contract. It's you. Yeah, you. The one who wakes up every morning with that quiet voice in your head saying, something isn't right. The one who's just trying to hold it together in a world that turns emotions into merchandise. You have the right to know the truth. You have the right to be angry at a system that profits from your pain. It's not the antidepressants that make us dependent. It's a system where your suffering is a product, a stat on a spreadsheet, a line on a quarterly earnings report. And that system wants you to stay quiet. Take the pills, hide the fear, fake normal. It wants you to forget that feeling is not a flaw. It's power. The truth is, you are not broken. Your heart is not defective. Your sensitivity is your strength. Don't let them turn your pain into profit. Don't let them convince you that being human is a disorder. Share this with someone who thinks they're alone, with someone who's scared to admit they're tired, with someone who doesn't know that being real is being strong. We are not products, we are people, and only together can we reclaim the right to truth, to freedom, to being fully alive. This isn't just about pills, this is about us.